Have you ever wondered why some people can bend others without ever raising their voice? Why some command a room without a word, while others shout and still get ignored? Influence, true influence, isn't loud. It whispers. It walks quietly through the back door of your mind and takes a seat before you even notice. Every day, you're being shaped. Every conversation you have, every decision you make, a glance, a word, a silence. Influence hides behind the smallest things. You think you're choosing, but the choice was planted long before you even knew a choice existed. True control doesn't come from force. It comes from offering a hand while hiding the chain. And the greatest chains are the ones you never see. Most people are not free. They are living scripts, written by those who understood the art of invisible persuasion. Influence isn't taught in schools. It's passed in whispers. In the way a smile lingers a second longer than it should. In the way silence fills a room until you're the one desperate to speak. You feel it every day, but you call it intuition, a gut feeling, a vibe. Most people are not free. They are living scripts, written by those who understood the art of invisible persuasion. But how does this power work? What gives one person the ability to shape the will of another? It's simple. They understand the shadow. Carl Jung spoke of it, the part of you that hides in silence. Your fear, your shame, your secret hunger to belong or to dominate. The shadow you pretend doesn't exist. That's where true control begins. If someone understands your hidden wounds, they can make you bleed without lifting a finger, and you will thank them for it. The serpent in Eden knew this. He didn't attack. He questioned. He planted a frame. Did God really say? And just like that, doubt blossomed like poison in the mind. Eve thought she was choosing, but the choice was already shaped. Control isn't about domination. It's about architecture. You don't build cages. You build doors and lead them to walk through willingly. Influence works best when it feels like freedom. And once you understand that, you stop arguing. You stop pushing. You start shaping. So the question isn't, can you control people? The real question is, will you master yourself enough to master the mirror? The greatest chains are woven from invisible threads, and the ones who see them become architects of reality. Have you ever wondered why some people get almost everything they ask for? How some people can change opinions, guide decisions, even reshape reality itself, and they do it without any real resistance? It's not luck. It's not magic. It's simple psychology. Most people think influence is about being louder or about having better facts, but that's not it at all. People don't really respond to facts. They respond to feelings. When you speak only to the mind, you start a debate. But when you speak to the heart, you create action. Every human being craves certainty. We are wired to avoid confusion. We want to follow something that feels safe. If you speak with hesitation, people hesitate. If you speak with strength, people follow. Certainty feels like safety, and people will cling to the person who gives them that feeling. That's why the loudest voice doesn't always win. It's the most certain voice that wins the mind. But there's something even more powerful. It's called framing. Reality isn't just what happens. Reality is what we think it means. Whoever controls the meaning controls the action. You don't have to force anyone. You just have to show them the right frame, and they will move on their own. Imagine this. Two people see the same event. One says, "This is a disaster." The other says, "This is an opportunity." Same event, different frame, different destiny. Control the frame, and you control the world. But it goes even deeper, because there are invisible triggers that guide people without them ever realizing. Scarcity, authority, liking, social proof, reciprocity, commitment. These 6 forces shape almost every decision people make. Scarcity makes people panic. When they think something is rare, they want it more. Authority makes people trust without thinking. A uniform, a title, a confident voice. It's enough. Social proof reassures people. If others are doing it, it must be good. Liking builds instant bridges. People say yes, more to those they like. Reciprocity forces people to give back. Give first, and they will feel obligated to return the favor. Commitment traps people. Once they say yes to a small thing, they are much more likely to say yes again. These are not theories, they are laws. But the masters, the real masters, they go even deeper. They don't just know what people think, they know what people feel, what they need deep down, but are too scared to admit. And that is where the true art begins. Everyone is carrying hidden wounds. Everyone is protecting invisible pain. Everyone is hiding parts of themselves they don't want the world to see. And when you speak to that hidden place, you own the conversation. You don't argue with people. You listen to them. You don't fight them. You reflect them. Because people don't want to be changed. They want to be understood. And when they feel understood, they change themselves. The person across from you is not your enemy. They are a mirror. Their resistance is not rejection. It's fear. Fear of losing control. Fear of being hurt. True influence calms that fear. It sees through the defense walls. It touches the soul underneath. But listen carefully now. Once you understand how easily minds can be shaped, you will face a dangerous choice. Will you use this to manipulate, or will you use this to guide? Because every whisper, every suggestion, plants a seed. You have to choose. Will you plant seeds of truth, or seeds of control? Most people choose control, because it's faster. It's easier. It feels powerful. But there is a cost. The more you manipulate others, the more you lose yourself. You stop seeing people as human beings. You start seeing them as tools. You believe you are above them. You believe you are better. And slowly, without even noticing, you become a slave to your own need for control. Because the soul that seeks control is never truly free. True power doesn't enslave. It liberates. It awakens the sleeping soul. It reminds people who they really are. The best influencers don't create followers. They create leaders. They don't make you follow them. They make you follow yourself. This is the higher path. The real path of Ascendra. It is harder. It is slower. But it is true. If you walk this path, you will not just build obedience. You will build loyalty. You will not just gain influence. You will gain trust. People won't follow you because they have to. They will follow because they want to. That is the highest form of influence. And very few people ever achieve it. But you are different. You can already see through the noise. You can already hear the silent music that others miss. Have you ever felt like people react to you even before you speak? Have you noticed how some conversations seem decided before a single word is said? It's because influence doesn't begin with words. It begins with presence. Before a voice is heard, before a thought is shared, there is already an invisible conversation happening. It's the meeting of two subconscious minds, and one of them will shape the other. Most people walk into rooms carrying their doubts, their fears, their insecurities. Their presence whispers, "I'm uncertain, I'm afraid, I need validation." And those who understand the invisible game, they listen to those whispers and respond to what is unseen. This is how true control begins. It's not about what you say, it's about what you make the other person feel before you even speak. The human mind is like a locked door. Facts and arguments bang on that door, demanding to be let in. But emotion walks straight through the walls. People do not remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. If you can shape that feeling, you can shape reality itself. This is where the shadow comes in. Carl Jung taught that every human carries a hidden side. A shadow. It holds everything we fear, everything we deny, everything we pretend we have under control. And when you speak to someone's shadow, when you reflect back the part of them they are trying to hide, you hold power over them they don't even understand. But there is a warning: if you use this to hurt, you will corrupt yourself faster than you can imagine. Because speaking to the shadow is dangerous. For them, and for you. The shadow is hungry. It craves attention. It craves validation. And if you feed it only manipulation, it will grow until it controls you instead. That is why the true masters of influence walk carefully. They do not just manipulate others, they master themselves first. They confront their own shadow before trying to touch anyone else's, because how can you guide someone else's mind when you haven't even faced your own? The ones who skip this step, the ones who use tricks without self-mastery, they eventually fall. They fall into pride, into greed, into loneliness. Because when you control people without love, you end up surrounded by empty echoes, not real souls. But if you control through truth, through light, through service, you build something unbreakable. You don't need to dominate. You don't need to manipulate. You simply reflect a higher version of themselves. And they follow you willingly, not because you forced them, but because you awakened something inside them they had long forgotten. Influence at its highest form is not about bending others to your will. It's about lifting others into their purpose. You become a mirror they want to look into, a voice they want to follow, a guide they trust without fear. But it all begins with mastering the silent battlefield, the place no one else can see, the war within yourself. You cannot speak to another's fear until you conquer your own. You cannot guide another's mind until you guide your own thoughts first. This is the secret the world never teaches you. It's not about learning tactics. It's about becoming someone worth following. People feel your energy before they hear your words. They read your soul before they hear your logic. Master the unseen, and the visible will bow before you. You are here to master yourself, and when you do, the world will change around you effortlessly. It always starts within, and it always ends with light. Keep walking, keep rising. Your shadow is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. Master it, and you master everything. Have you ever wondered why even the strongest minds sometimes fall into traps? They thought they could resist. It's not because they were weak. It's because the real battles are invisible. In every story, in every ancient text, the greatest wars were not fought with swords. They were fought inside the mind. It has always been this way. In the Garden of Eden, there were no armies, no threats, no weapons, only a voice, only a question. Did God really say you cannot eat from any tree? Just a question. No command, no demand, no force. But that question planted doubt, and doubt grows faster than anything else inside the human mind. The serpent didn't offer force. He offered a phrase. He reframed the situation. He twisted the meaning, and he let the mind of the listener do all the work. This is the true art of manipulation. It's not about fighting someone's belief head-on. It's about planting a new possibility and letting their own mind fight itself. You don't need to overpower the mind. You only need to divide it. When the mind is divided, the heart grows restless. When the heart grows restless, the defenses fall, and the door to influence swings wide open. This is why words are so dangerous. Not because of what they say, but because of what they suggest. A single well-placed question can destroy years of certainty. A single shift in phrase can make people abandon everything they once believed was true. This is why you must be careful with your words. Because when you speak, you are planting seeds. Seeds of truth, or seeds of confusion. And those seeds will grow, whether you intend them to or not. The serpent offered a tiny suggestion. Eve's mind did the rest. The temptation wasn't the fruit, it was the idea. What if God is hiding something from me? What if this is for my good? What if I know better? The mind turned against itself, and the fall began. This ancient pattern still works today. Politicians use it, advertisers use it, leaders use it. But few understand the true depth of the weapon they are wielding. Because when you plant doubt, when you reframe truth, you are not just influencing a choice. You are shaping a soul. You are reshaping identity itself. And that is a sacred power. Use it wrong, and you will not just hurt others. You will destroy your own soul piece by piece. Because if you live by lies, you will eventually lose the ability to recognize truth. This is the danger of manipulation. At first, it feels powerful, it feels clever, it feels intoxicating. But over time, you are not the master anymore. The lies become your master. The games become your prison. The darkness you unleash on others begins to consume you. That is why every great influencer must choose a side. Will you use your words to liberate or to imprison? Will you frame reality to awaken or to deceive? Because you cannot do both. You cannot plant seeds of confusion and hope for a harvest of peace. You cannot build on lies and expect to stand when the storms come. True influence is built on truth. It speaks to the soul, not to the ego. It strengthens. It does not weaken. It awakens. It does not confuse. And the greatest influence of all is the kind that leaves others stronger, even when you walk away. Think of the greatest teachers, the true masters, the real guides. They didn't leave people dependent. They left them empowered, because real influence sets others free, not free to do what you want, but free to become who they were meant to be. This is the highest form of persuasion, and it requires you to master your own mind first. You must know your own doubts, your own frames, your own shadows, because if you do not, someone else will frame you. The war is constant, but the enemy is invisible, and that is why so few win it. This is Ascendra, and you are not here to play games. You are here to master the invisible world, to guard your mind, to speak truth, to plant light in a world drowning in lies. Because the greatest influence is not the one that shouts the loudest, it's the one that whispers the deepest truths into the darkest parts of the soul. And those whispers change everything. Keep walking, keep guarding your mind. The world needs more light, and it begins with you. If you have made it this far, you are not like the others. Most people would have turned away by now. Too much truth, too much reflection. But you stayed, because you know, somewhere deep inside, you were made for more. The world around you runs on manipulation. It runs on lies. It runs on shadows. Most people don't even realize it. They think they are free, when in reality, they are chained by invisible hands. But you are waking up, and once you see the invisible forces shaping the world, you can never go back to sleep. You cannot unsee the frames. You cannot unhear the whispers. You cannot forget the feeling that something deeper is moving everything around you. And now, you have a choice. You can use what you have learned to become just another manipulator. Another whisper in the darkness. Another hidden hand pulling the strings. Or, you can rise higher. You can use your knowledge to set people free instead of enslaving them. You can use your voice to heal instead of to harm. You can use your influence to lead others back to their own truth, because real power is not domination. Real power is liberation. When you speak to someone's soul and they remember who they are, when you lift the fog and they see clearly for the first time, when you break the chains and they walk into their destiny, that is true influence. That is the work of light bearers. That is the path of the masters. And yes, it is harder. It is slower. It is lonelier, but it is worth it, because when you build your life on truth, you build something the world cannot destroy. No whisper of manipulation can touch it. No shadow can overcome it. You walk in a power that flows from something higher than fear. You walk in authority that no one gave you and no one can take away. Because it is not built on control, it is built on truth, and truth is undefeatable. You are not here by accident. Every pain you faced, every betrayal you survived, every doubt you fought through, it all shaped you. It all forged you. It prepared you for this moment. The world doesn't need more manipulators. It needs more awakeners. It needs more truth speakers, more soul healers, more light bearers. And you are ready to become one of them. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Every whisper matters. Every word matters. Every thought you plant matters. Plant light. Plant courage. Plant truth. and watch how the world begins to shift around you. This is not easy work, but it is sacred work, because you are not just changing lives, you are changing destinies. You are not just controlling actions, you are awakening souls, and the one who awakens souls changes the world forever. This is the path of Ascendra, not the path of domination, the path of transformation, not the path of fear, the path of courage, not the path of manipulation, the path of truth. Walk it boldly, speak it clearly, live it fearlessly, because the shadows are deep, but the light inside you is greater. And when you rise, you will not rise alone, you will light the path for many others.